Hello, hello, hello. Do 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 do. It's a sign. It's a signer. It's a signer. I almost mispronounced my own name. It's Listiner Inspires with your purpose and identity teaching. 12:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Come on in the room, A. 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 Alrighty. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. It's exactly 12:31 p.m. Today, the room I'm in is befitting of what we're talking about today. So if you've been following the teaching, I am teaching from one of my best-selling journal books, Who Sent You, which talks about the purpose and identity as a journal book. And today's topic is Take Back the Day. And I have literally taken back the day in this moment. I'm going to say I have taken back the moment because I am currently in my bathroom doing the live because they are doing some yard work outside. The individuals that come and do the landscaping, and it's really loud in all parts of the house. Except for the bathroom, it's not that loud. So I improvised. I had to do some shifting, take back the moment because I'm like, I can't do this live if all they hear in the background is the mowing of the lawn and the landscaper's tools. So I came into the bathroom. I think it's a good acoustics too, so yay. So let me introduce myself. My name is Listiner Inspires. I'm an award-winning author. I am a healing and recovery accountability expert coach as well as speaker. I am also the founder and creator of Healing is a Journey, which is a quarterly series of conferences that are designed to help those who have gone through trauma and abuse learn how to live their best healed life by providing them with tools, support, resources, and solutions. And the upcoming conference date this quarter is September 19th. It is a Saturday, a virtual experience at noon Central Standard Time. You can participate in this virtual healing experience from the comfort of your bed, your couch, your kitchen table, wherever you feel comfortable to start your healing journey. I have some amazing speakers. I have an awesome swag bag that includes, you guessed it, the journal book that I am teaching from, Who Sent You. It also includes products from this year featured sponsor TGIN. Awesome. Oh, excuse me. You'll also get the replay link so that you can rewatch it later. And you get a downloadable worksheet that talks even further about purpose and identity. All for the low of $25. So go ahead and click the link in the caption. Reserve your seating because seating is limited. Even though we're virtual, we want the experience to be intimate. Also, we have a 4-pack, which is 4 individuals can put on together for a price of $80, which is a $20 saving. And you can be anywhere in the world with family and friends, and all you guys can be a part of that virtual healing experience. So today's topic is Take Back the Day. Before I start teaching, let me give you the classroom etiquette. 1, when you come into the room, speak. Say hi, say hello, wave, do a wave, so I know that you're here, so I can acknowledge you and say hi back. And because I hope that when you walk into any room, you will speak. If not, you probably should start doing that. Number 2, make sure to share this out with someone, whether it's in your inner circle, your outer circle, and through an intimate message, someone that you feel may need it directly. Share the message out. This message is for everyone who is in need of a word about taking back the day. And number 3, if you have any questions or comments, drop them in the comment section so that I can address them, or someone else who might be on the live who wants to address it can. This is a experience where we're part of a community where we're all working through this together on our healing journey. Woo, woo, woo. So today, today's reading comes from, let me just find the page for you before I start. Page 11 and 12 of my book. 11 and I can't find that page. 12 of the book. Can you see it? And so I want to pose 2 questions to you before I start teaching. Have you ever experienced a day that you just wanted to throw away? Like you just, like the day just really just you did not like it today at all. It was not agreeable with you. You just, like, things seemed like they were just going all sorts of wrong, right? As I said earlier, this is today, me doing the live, doing my teaching, in the bathroom. It's just me. It's fitting of me in the title of Take Back the Day. I am taking back the moment because I was supposed to be in, my little office space teaching, but then the landscapers are working outside the building and you can hear the noise. And so I wanted to make sure that what I was saying could be heard. So I just moved to a different space. I took back the moment instead of being, irritated with them doing their job because they're actually doing their job. I took opportunity to just take a moment and just shift the space that I'm using. But oftentimes we have days that seem to just not be going well. And it can cause us to really be upset and sometimes feel like the whole day is just fly, right? I actually had a day like that yesterday where I just was feeling like I wasn't in the best of moods. I had sprained my ankle earlier in the week, and so I felt like that had set me back because I have been I finally was getting back up to getting the energy and the strength to start back walking again, and I had been up to 2.5 miles, and I was excited, and then I sprained my ankle, and now I'm like have to rest and elevate it, and I have to hold off on walking until I'm able to, until it heals. So that was that. I had a few doctor's appointments yesterday, so I was just like, seeing the doctor, doing radiation, getting my therapy for my arm. And then, when unexpected car repairs, sometimes, car repairs are usually unexpected. There's never any like scheduled car repairs unless like first thing you have an oil change or you hear your brakes are squeaking. But there's things where like something happens when you have to take the car into the shop, and that happened to me, and kind of found out it was something much more severe than I thought it was, and I'm glad that I was able to get it in. But it was just one of those, I had one of them days where I was just like, okay. And I was reminded while I was having my bath time, I call it my luxurious self-care time because, I just be hooking myself up. But I was reminded as I was just sitting in the bath, just relaxing and just, listening to jazz and just getting my mind together. And God brought back to memory earlier in the day on my Lyft ride home, the Lyft driver was like, "You're awesome." And I was like, "Oh, thank you." And he told me, "Make sure you have a good day." And as God reminded me of that yesterday night, I thought about like, man, God, you were with me. You sent that driver to say those exact words to me because I needed to hear that. But I wasn't able to realize that in that moment because I just was in a mood, right? And that self-reflection allowed me to have an attitude of gratitude and start to reflect on the certain things that had happened but could have gone worse, right? But what happens when the days become a series of days, like those bad days become a series of days, and eventually your life is a place where you're not happy with, right? What happens then? Because a lot of us, whether we want to be honest or not, has spent so much of our time being upset and unhappy about the things that are not going right in our life that we don't recognize moments where we're granted to take back our day, right? And I am glad from a personal experience that I was able to really have that time to self-reflect and be like, you know what, God, it's not as bad as I thought it was or how I felt it was. And I started to just think in my head, go down the list where at least I didn't fracture my ankle. I'm glad that I had the finances to be able to pay for the repairs. I'm glad that I have doctors that are diligent and taking care of me as I'm going through my healing journey from cancer. So I had to really shift the whole mindset and be like, okay, this doesn't get this attitude of gratitude together and acknowledge that God was with me through all of it, even though it wasn't the day and the moments didn't go the way I planned or would have liked them to be. Now, granted, yes, the day was almost done. I realized this at the end of the day, but at least I realized that I was able to go to bed on a happy note. But there's often times where we spend so much time being upset and we spend so much time being unhappy about what's going wrong with our life. We don't take the chance to look back and think what's going right with our life, right? Because everything is a process. And sometimes We have to tackle the unhappy parts of our day, or our unhappy parts of our lives, day by day and moment by moment, right? And how does that look? Because at the end of the day, sometimes you cannot change circumstances. Sometimes certain circumstances may not be preventable. And so how do you do that? How do you go about shifting your mindset? Because really it's a mindset. I've been talking about this, if you've noticed the last few teachings, the mindset, right? It's like, how do you shift that? How do you go from having a bad day and a bad life to enjoying your life and looking at the so-called not so good days and taking the day back by saying, okay, that they didn't go the way I had planned, but it didn't go, it could have went totally left, so when it did not, right? How do you do that? Well, first we think about our mindset. In this book, I have something I call false thinking fiction, right? And so false thinking, which is fiction, is what we oftentimes tell ourselves, which is rooted in fear, rejection, or hopelessness, right? And false thinking is where, for instance, I'm going to use myself as an example. When I sprained my ankle, I could have been like, what the heck? I could have been mad, could have been upset, like, here I am trying to, what more can go wrong? Life is just, not the best. I could have really looked at it and thought that I was totally set back on my healing journey. But I didn't. I was like, okay, I sprained my ankle. Next time, walk a little slower, Listiner. Thank God I had the fence to hold on so it could keep me from falling. And they're even thinking now, okay, I'm going to rest because I will get back to walking. And the good thing is I have that mindset, because I have learned, and through my healing process of uprooting those different things, the fear, the rejection, the hopelessness, to have the facts that God has given me. And the facts usually lie in my faith, in the confidence in myself and in God, and in the love. Tabitha says you chose a positive perspective of a challenge. Yes, I did. And I try to do that often. Sometimes, it might not be instantaneous. Sometimes I do it in self-reflection. But I try to do that because I understand that how my mind operates, where my mind goes, is where everything else will follow. And so let me give you another example, and I'm going to follow up with a scripture. A fiction, a false way of thinking. My life is so stressful. Now, granted, I could think that. I could say that, given the fact of what I'm going through, what I'm experiencing, I could say that, right? But I don't, because I know that it could be worse, and I know that God is with me no matter what I'm going through. But here is a fact from God, from His Word. Colossians 3:15 says, Colossians, COLOSSIANS. Okay, I can spell it. 3:15 says, let the peace that comes from Christ rule in your hearts. For as members of one body, you are called to live in peace. And so instead of looking at my life as being stressful, I'm looking at like, okay, these are certain situations that are happening, and for whatever reason God allowed them to happen. But my peace is the most important part, because when I have a peace of mind, then I can think from that place of peace and not have a false thinking of fiction of my life is stressful, but have a fact way of thinking in God that my life is filled with peace and that God is with me and everything happens according to His will and purpose for my life. And it's for the good. He will use all things for good, right? And so it takes practice. I didn't just wake up like this. Well, I did wake up like this. No, but catch that. I didn't just wake up and be like, I haven't always been positive, or I'm not always positive every day, I should say, because as long as I've known myself, I've always tried to look at the positive side of things. But that I don't always, when things happen, sometimes my first reaction isn't, well, with an attitude of gratitude. Sometimes it's like, this is some bull. But then when I self-reflect, I'm able to bring it back. And that's what taking the day is about. Taking back the day is about being able to shift shift your mindset, shift your perspective, shift what you're thinking and how you see things. And you're choosing to look at another side to it. Because there's always another side. There's always another side to everything. There's light, there's dark. There's good, there's bad. There's no hair, there's hair. I mean, there's always another side to everything, but we have a choice, and we have to start to choose to not constantly live in a space of being upset or unhappy and not liking our lives, and start to take back our day. Take back what we want things to be. Tabitha says, take back the day, shift your mindset. That's for me today. Glory to God. You got that word. Amen. I'm going to pass the collection plate around. And so I'm going to give you guys an assignment. And it's not, I don't think it's too hard of an assignment, because I'm all about action. I believe in inspiring you with words, but I also believe in giving you some action steps to do, because you ultimately are the main participant in your life. I can encourage you and inspire you all day long, but until you take the action that you need to shift your mindset, to change how you see things, to take back your day, period and amen, then what I'm saying is like going out the window with the birds. And so over the next few days, I want you to reflect on how you think. Reflect on how you're thinking on a regular basis. Sometimes we don't even know that we have this mindset, right? Sometimes we don't even realize that we're constantly complaining and thinking of the negatives, right? But when you start to reflect, it comes up. There are times where God has corrected me in the spirit swiftly, and I've had to be like, ooh. There's times where I can remember something happened to somebody, not bad, but like somebody did somebody I knew wrong, and I was like, that's what they get because they did me wrong, right? And God corrected me like, what? That's unforgiveness. That's not okay. And I had to when I realized what I said, I was like, oh, that's so true. But sometimes we're not aware of that those thoughts and those things that we think, because it just seems like it's part of our everyday life and it just flows. So if you're just flowing negativity, how do you how do you think that your day is gonna flow in positivity if you're just flowing in negativity? Hey, it's with Devereaux. That's a question I want you to ask yourself too. Like, if you want good things out of life, what are you thinking? What are you directing your attention to? So this homework assignment will start today, and I want you to carry it over to Monday. Now, I'm still going to come on and teach, but I want you, while I'm teaching, to really start to think and focus, right? And think about how you're thinking. Really reflect on that. And then while you're thinking about it, start to journal the first things that come to your mind, right? Start to journal. I want you to learn how to use the tools you have, your mind, your thoughts and your ideas, and use put pen to paper. I'm a big believer in journal. That's why I've written 4 journal books. That's why I've launched a whole journal series that will soon be on my website. Shameless plug. Free Yourself Journal series will be on my website. Until then, you can find them on Amazon. Because I am a believer in journaling. Journaling has helped me to get ideas out of my head, has helped me to free up my mindset, has helped me to publish the books that I've written. And journaling can also help you. You don't have to have a long, drawn out page of thoughts, but take some time to journal your way out of the false thinking, and then allow God's truth to be reflected within you. But first, you got to remove the old way of thinking. You can't fill up a rusted, old, cracked vase with new stuff. Like, imagine I give you this cup that's dirty, and then I pour coffee in it, or juice, or water, whatever you want to drink. You're going to be like, I don't want this. This is gross, right? So the same way when you're trying to reboot your mindset, you want to allow whatever you're trying to reboot a chance to refresh itself, which means you're getting out what was there before. Tabitha says, plug, we all need to be free. Period. Amen. So number 1, I want you to write about your first thoughts when you wake up and throughout the day. Pay attention to that. When you first wake up, what are you saying about your day? What are you saying about yourself? Are you like, oh my God, I'm super excited? Are you like, oh my God, I'm amazing? That's what I say about myself. Like, oh, you fine, girl. Or are you saying, oh, here we go, another day. Oh my God, here we go. Like, how are you talking to yourself in the morning. Can you imagine if you live with someone, and maybe you do, and they're just angry every time they get up? How would that make you feel? So imagine you're talking to yourself angrily. So then now you're in a bad mood because you just addressed yourself like you didn't like yourself. And if you don't like yourself, that's an even deeper thing that you need to unravel, unfold, and seek counseling, because therapy in God. Woo, I love it. It's a powerful thing. Number 2, go back later in the day when you have some downtime. And I hope you guys are getting downtime, because if you're not, that could also be part of the problem. Go back later in the day and notice what you're telling yourself when things are not going your way. Because believe it or not, every day there's a new challenge, whether it's small or big. But how we face it, how we deal with it, how we address it, will decide if it will continue on to the next day, to the day after that, and on through our lives, or if you can nip it in the bud right then and there. So go back and look at it and see, how did I respond to that? You know, how did that make me feel? Did I start my day off happy, and then all of a sudden things happen and I allow them to affect me? Did I start my day off in a bad mood and I wonder why the rest of the day is like that? Really take and be honest with yourself. The thing about this assignment is I won't ask you what you wrote. Now, if you want to inbox me and share it, that's fine, but I'm not, because this is between you and God. Because you have to be honest with yourself in order to be free, in order to know who you are, in order to be who God has called you to be. Starts with being honest. And then number 3, yeah, be intentional and separate. So when you're going back, so number 3 is, now be intentional and self-reflect and focus on what happened good throughout the day. And write that down. Because believe it or not, no matter how bad you think a day has been, there was some good in it. We just didn't take the time to really look at it because we were so busy looking at what was wrong. We were so busy with looking at, oh my God. Like I told you guys earlier, when I was sitting in the tub self-reflecting, and God brought to me the when He used someone to speak into me. And I missed it. I mean, I told the man, thank you, but I missed it. And I told God, you know what? Thank you for that. I'm sorry that I missed that, because I was just in a mood. And don't get me wrong, we will have moods. We will have things that will make us feel a certain way. I'm not saying deny how you feel about it. I'm saying don't allow that temporary feeling to have a permanent place in your life. It does not belong there. Okay? So, and this process will help you. It will help you to really let God in more. Whether you're a believer or not, we all need something bigger to believe in. And Christ Jesus that's the anchor that I hold on to no matter what, because that's where my strength, my substance, and my support comes from. And so even myself, I go on these reflective journeys. I try to do them regular. I told you I was sitting in the tub when God really was speaking to me and really correcting me, you know, and that's really what helps me is understanding where I could have went wrong, because no one's perfect. But remember, this process will help you, and it will allow God's Spirit to work within you in order for you to be released and in order for you to be free from a negative mindset, because you are worthy of having the great life that you desire and you deserve. Remember that. Take back the day. If you are listening to this and your day started off in a not so good place, you got time to take it back, baby. It's only 12:54 p.m. You can take back the day and move forward in greatness, move forward in joy, move forward in peace. No matter what has happened to you, you can move forward in these things. And so I have 3 tips for you in addition to the assignment I gave you. 1, journaling is so important. Journaling allows you to release what's in your mind, put it on pen to paper. And sometimes going back and seeing what you wrote will help you see how you're doing on your healing journey. Self-reflection, number 2. It's so important. Sitting back and self-reflecting on the things of God, on the things that you've gone through, that you're going through, where you want to be. Take that time. That's part of self-care, really. And number 3, quiet time with yourself and God. Sometimes you need to unplug so you can really hear what God has for you and what He's trying to say to you. So you can really listen to your body. Sometimes we go and don't realize that we got sick because we're so stressed because we're not resting. So the 3 tips I'm leaving for you: 1, start your journal. And if you need something to journal in, shameless plug again, okay? I have Free Yourself Journal series. The first one's already launched. It's on Amazon. 2 more will be launching, and then they all will be on my website. So look out for it. And subscribe to my email list. When you go on my website, subscribe to the email list because you will get the first pick of everything that I'm doing. So, 1, journal. 2, self-reflection. And 3, spend some quiet time with yourself and God. Remember, take back the day. This day is not done. You can take back the day. And then, you know what? If you this message blessed you and throughout the day you realize that you had moments where you were taking back the day, let me know. Let me know what you did to take back the day. I want to know because I want to be a part of your journey. You know what I'm saying? Tabitha said, what's the difference in the journals? So these are journal books. So this is part of the Healing is a Journey journal book series. So it's a book that has but then it has in between each certain chapters, there's pages to actual journal, self-reflection, there's action steps. So this is a journal book. I have the actual journals where you can write in. The difference between those, there are 3 of them, but they're different covers. So one says I'm free, one says free yourself, and one says I am free from guilt, hurt, shame, and abuse. So, but they're all geared towards you releasing those negative things, putting them on pen and paper, and allow God to do the work in you. And so that's the difference. Did that help Tabitha? I hope I answered your question. If not, inbox me. But thank you all for tuning in. I thank you for your time. I don't take it lightly. Make sure you hit the link above in the caption. If you're interested in learning more about the Healing is a Journey conference series, if you're interested in being a vendor, we have the applications open for vendors. I like the third one's covered. Yes, thank you. Awesome. I will, once that's once that's put on, I can send you a message for the link if you want to buy one and do pre-sales. I would love that. So yes, click the link in the caption if you're interested in learning more about the Healing is a Journey quarterly series of conferences with the upcoming date of September 19th. If you're interested in actually, participating as a featured vendor, apply. The link is also that when you click on that link in my caption, it will take you there as well. If you just need testimonials or want to just really browse through the videos and past attendees, what they experienced, I'll click on all that link. I love you guys, and remember to be bold, be unashamed, and most importantly, be you. Love you. Tabitha, I got you. I'm gonna inbox you. Love you guys.